Okay, Scott, tell me how you heard about IBOGAINE and what got you down here for treatment.
The first time I heard about ibogaine was Hunter S. Thompson, and he mentioned ibogaine, and I was like, ibogaine, what the hell is that? And so he explained it's a hallucinogen, and I just looked it up on the internet, and I had been a heroin addict for many years, and so it said it's used to treat heroin addicts, and it's real miraculous. So I was like, because I was on methadone, I was on Suboxone, so I was like, well, this is the stuff I want to take. So I researched it, I watched the documentaries, I learned all about it, and, that took a little while. It was a couple years, because I was still on the dope, so I wasn't really,
Immersed,
I wasn't really
committed.
in a rush to do it.
Okay,
I wanted to do it, but I kept on.
procrastinating.
But then it got to the point where I had to do something, and the way I found about it was the first time I looked it up, there were barely any websites, and it was. Can I say that it was very expensive?
You can say whatever you want.
It was
Good, the bad, the ugly.
it was very expensive, and I was a drug addict, so it's like,
It's out of touch.
yeah, because now it's like $4,000 or $5,000. Before it was 10. So if there's anybody that has I don't have $10,000 rolled up in a sock in my sock drawer. My parents don't have it. But considering that other rehabs cost about 10 times as much, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. So I told my parents, I was like, I want to take the ibogaine. I was like, if I take the ibogaine, I promise I won't do the dope. So the next time I went on the internet, there were a lot of websites. Czechoslovakia, Thailand, Switzerland, Costa Rica. And so I thought about them, and I was like, well, I don't really want to end up in Thailand. And I'm half Czech, but my last name is German, and they're racist against Germans. So if I go over there and I say I'm Petzel, they're going to be like, get the fuck out of our country. But, so
Those are good places, by the way.
What?
Those are good places.
Oh, really?
Yeah, our other centers are there.
Oh.
That's okay, though. You ended up here. Tell me a little about your experience on the ibogaine and what it was like.
Well, when I took the ibogaine, it kicked in right away. And the beginning was, it was like, turn into the radio inside your brain. And it's real fast at first. It's like a giant TV screen with millions and millions and millions and millions of channels, which is it's not scary. It's just
Overwhelming.
it's the only thing that's happening. And you're thinking well, because you're at the beginning, so you don't know what the end is going to be like. And, yeah, I was hallucinating. My eyes. The good thing about it was you can open your eyes and it all goes away. So you can open your eyes, you can be like, okay, I'm in bed, I'm still breathing, I'm alright. But I was in the dark, so all the monsters started coming. First I felt like spaghetti. It was pretty cool, and then the open eye hallucinations didn't start till after that, because I saw trails and everything, and when they turned the light on, I'd see trails. But at the dark, I'd see all the hallucinations, leaves and kind of like a TV screen that just kept switching channels, and I kind of got a little bit more of an understanding. I it didn't the problem is I was feeling the benzodrine withdrawal. Benzodiazepine withdrawal. So towards the end, the withdrawal from the benzodiazepine combined with the trip. So when it was coming full circle, I was feeling the
anxiety. Tell us how you ended up finding out that you had a chemical dependency to benzos when you weren't actually taking benzos consciously.
I felt like I was going through withdrawal.
And so what did you want to talk about, what we discovered about what kind of heroin you're using from Illinois in Chicago area, and how they were cutting it with alprazolam?
Yeah. I thought it was pure heroin, and it was cut with benzos. And they've been doing it for the past 2 to 4 years, and I didn't even know I had a benzodrine addiction. Benzodiazepine. And I thought that I'd go home and be off the ibogaine, but now I'm on the benzos, so I'm going to have to taper off that. So it's like, fuck.
So the hair test that shows alprazolam's been in your system for months will be evidence for you to present so that you can have a valid prescription for a longer acting benzo to taper off of, which is in your favor.
I got to go to a doctor.
You're going to go to the doctor we talked about. You're going to show them that sample that showcases how many months and possibly years you've had alprazolam cut into your heroin. And then they're going to put you on something like diazepam or clonazepam, which the trade names are Valium or Klonopin. And then you'll taper off the old-fashioned way. What does it feel like as far as opiate withdrawals now that you're through your session? How do you feel?
When I take the benzodiazepam, I don't feel any withdrawals. But if I don't take the benzodiazepam, I start getting the shakes. I start feeling the withdrawals.
So what would you say to the users out there that aren't planning on getting clean anytime soon as far as a safety advice regarding the use of heroin and the possibility that it's cut with something as dangerous as a benzo?
Don't do it, because you think that it's just heroin and you're going to have a benzodiazepam addiction.
Or check.
Yeah, check. I mean, get it tested.
Test your blood. It's less expensive to test your blood for benzos in your bloodstream than to test a street drug, which is also gray area for you to have that in the first place. So you can test your blood for it, and if you come up positive and all you've been using is one particular street drug, then you'll find out what you need to find out.
If I would have known that it was cut with benzodiazepam, I would have never done it. Because I didn't want a Xanax addiction. I didn't want that. So
how do you feel as far as cravings?
I don't have any cravings. I don't, new outlook on life. I feel like I can do all the things. It hasn't happened yet, but I can feel like I can do all the things that I wanted to do, because I'm not on the dope anymore. I'm not isolated.
Nice.
So I can do all the stuff that I wanted to do, which for the past 5 years, I've been isolated by myself and watching 7 million people do exactly what I want to do. And I was starved for affection, starved for companionship, watching other people do what I wanted to do. And I wanted it so badly that it was just getting so bad. I was like, either I'm going to put a bullet in my head or something's going to get better. Something's got to get better, because
now you can live your life.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I feel good about it.
Excited to go home?
Yeah. I'm excited to go home. I'm a little anxious because my parents have a lot of expectations about it.
Sure.
And they're going to be like, you know, how do you feel? How do you feel? How do you feel? And I'm be like, well, you know.
It's a day-by-day deal.
I feel good, but it's going to take a little while.
Sure.
But yeah, I new experiences, meet new people. Hopefully, I mean, you know. So hopefully that happens.
Well, thank you, my friend, for doing the interview. We're happy to have you, and wish you the best, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Scott. Take care.